Well, good morning to you all, good morning. It's Monday, the 9th of March, 2020. I got that wrong yesterday, didn't I? 2020. The sun's shining, it's not raining, it's rather lovely. And the grass is telling me it wants cutting, but the dampness is telling me that I can't. So we'll just ignore the long grass and the weeds and things like that, and just have a little look at some of the flowers. I'm sort of pleased with these. This is one of those bags of mixed bulbs that you sometimes see in discount shops, and yeah, they're mixed, but very, very pleasing, and more to come. That's always pleasing. But yes, I need to get some serious work done out here, but not today. You know, you get up in the morning and some days you have a plan and some days you don't. I quite like not having a plan. You don't get much done, but you know, one of the things I do need to do between now and the 19th of March is get my potato beds dug. I don't quite understand what's special. I know what's special about the 19th of March. It's my dad's birthday, it's St. Joseph's Day, but I'm told that that's when you should be planting your potatoes. Well, the ground is very soggy, very heavy to work, so yep, we might do some of that today. We might just look at some of the wonderful plants that I'm lucky to have hiding in the grass. Got to do something with this grass. Got to weed the onion bed. I sort of tried to pull as many weeds out as I can when I get the chance, but you know, somehow it's not exciting, is it, pulling up weeds? I need to weed the strawberry bed. However, oh, look at that. Well, that's a bit early. That's very early. The job that I am going to do, and I thought about this over my cup of tea, is I need some firewood, and sometimes jobs elevate themselves up the priorities. How badly do I need firewood? Well, not that badly, but badly enough. And the current source for firewood, which isn't going to last much longer, is the job that I'm doing in here. Now, this space was what we would call the carve. Place for keeping your bottles of wine, or your barrels of wine, or, you know, whatever. It's got to have this floor, this ceiling. In this room it's the ceiling, in the bedroom above, of course, it's the floor. That's all got to come out. But it was all covered like that. And I'm sort of pleased with myself that we're now down to the last knockings, as it were. And what this is, it's mud and straw wrapped around pieces of timber and then stuck up against the ceiling and held in place with battens. And I don't know, that's been there 100 years maybe. I don't know, it hasn't got a date on it. It's great fun. You put a crowbar between that and the floor, and what you get out of it is a lot of this wonderful recyclable mud. That goes out over the back of the garden where the rain and the weather will return it to usable dirt. But what comes out of there with it is quite a nice collection of oak. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop you down and pull out some more bits and show you. Well, that was sort of the easy bit, pulling it down. And yeah, in the middle there is timber. It's wrapped with straw and mud, and a certain amount of battering gets the mud and the timber separated. That's sort of my next thing to do. I'm trying to drop them straight into my barrow, so I haven't got lots of mud to shovel up off the floor, but it's not always successful. Right, yes, let's knock mud off. Well, that again didn't take very long. Quick job then to stick that over my bench saw and just cut it in half, then it'll go nicely in the oven, in the firebox of the oven. I hasten to sort of add, I don't cook it and eat it, I burn it, and being oak, it burns very, very nicely. Yeah, good stuff. Right, I guess it's time for tea. It's always time for tea. Well, that, along with some other that I've already cut, will keep me warm tonight. But something that I wanted to show, I don't know, let's see if we can see this. It's a bit, not always. Now, the people that built these houses, they recycled lots of stuff, and what this is, it's a barrel stave, a piece of a barrel. Now, I'm guessing by the curvature on that, it was a big barrel, un tonneau, and barrels all get marked with systems of marking. Numbers, not necessarily numbers. You know, that one, for those of you that know these things, 23. That one's a bit of an enigma to me because, well, it's the wrong way round, isn't it? An upside down V. Now, if we read it that way, that isn't really a Roman number. That's a series of marks. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, V, X. It's the wrong way round. If you're using Roman numbers properly, that's 19. When I fished these out, I thought, I'm not going to cut those up. They are going to go into my come in handy one day pile. I've sort of got this idea that cleaned and varnished, that might find its way into what you could call decor for the room. There we are, 23. Yeah, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. There's a thought. Right, I did say I was going to make tea, didn't I? And progress is happening in other parts of the building too. I do a bit of this and I do a bit of that, and it's all progress. It's all moving towards, all going in the right direction. What this was, again, this is the ceiling of what was the bedroom, my bedroom. Some interesting structural timber, some interesting timber that simply held the roof, held the ceiling up. It isn't tied at the ends. I think it should have been tied. Maybe in history it was, but whatever. It's just resting on the walls. But you knock the plaster out, you pull the lath down, and then you find again oak supporting mud and straw. Torshie is the local name. And then you discover strange things. As I say, they're great recyclers. And this is partly why you don't tear into it like a mad thing with power tools. Partly to save things and partly so you don't just generate a dust cloud. What we're looking at there is properly known as un mangeoire. It's a rack, and typically that would be fixed, supported to a wall, and behind it would be hay or straw or fodder for the animals. So yeah, un mangeoire, a manger. Now, yeah, I've still got to pull down plaster and lath and all that sort of stuff. But again, that will come out and be cleaned and used, fixed to a wall somewhere as a decorative feature. Now, let's just think about this. This ceiling, we suspect, is 100 years old. We don't know that, we suspect it. Everything about it says that's about right. And this mangeoire was redundant 100 years ago. So who knows? Is it 200 years old? Is it 101 years old? Who knows? But it will make a nicest feature, I think.